Good morning, gentlemen. Today, uh, I would like to discuss on a very important topic of patience and impatience. Last couple of days, and as a matter of couple of months and few years, my wife has always been telling me, "You are getting old. जिंदगी में स्थिर होने की कोशिश करो. Impatient होने की जरूरत नहीं है." And this particular word I'm hearing every day. So the word impatience and patience must be understood very, very clearly. Why am I getting impatient? Probably I have grown old and I've got only a few years left to me. And I would like to finish up all the job which I think is important for me or for my future or from my family or what people. What would be the case from there? There is a need to learn to be patient. How do we become patient? That is what is the most important part. Now, so today, when we would like to discuss on this important topic of patience and impatience. Okay, that is first thing which you must really understand, that patience is what? It is remaining cool. That is what it is. Remaining cool is the patience. So today we will try and understand what is the psychology behind this of being impatient. Now, we all have been victim, not only me, as my wife tells me, I have been victim of it. Not only me, everyone, all of us are victim to this of being impatient or unpleasantness. No, to have been waiting for something. At times we think we are powerless, we can do little about it, and we still become jittery. Probably we may be waiting for a result. If our school days, college days, all important exams that you've given it, you may be waiting for a train or plane. You may be waiting for some tests and tournaments. You recollect back the time when we all waited for the famous vaccine for COVID-19 to be given to all of us. And our good Prime Minister held on to his own views of scheduling it in a proper fashion. On an average, our impatience intensified and even becomes frustrating as we go closer to what we think would be the end of the wait. When train is about to come, many times we have got inkling of looking at the watch, how many minutes are left. To grow personally and become best version of ourselves, we require motivation, we require help, we require confidence, we require focus, we require resilience, we require persistence, we require perseverance, and many more such things. But are all these things important? Yes, they are important. But something is bigger than this is also important, and without which we cannot afford to achieve our goal, whatever we have set for ourselves. Why? Because any time when you are trying to change, change is hard and slow. Patience may be most important attribute to possess to make a meaningful change in our life. If you want to change your personality, you can't change in one day. If you want to reduce your weight, you can't reduce in one day. You want to start exercising every day, you can't afford to doing just one day and finish it off. So you have to have the patience. And without patience, we can't devote the time and energy for change to emerge. Patience is not simply the ability to wait, it is how we behave while we are waiting. This is what Joyce Meyer has said. And the power of patience is the propensity to wait calmly in the face of frustration or adversity. Now look, tufan aa jayega, what can you do? You can do little about it. You have to wait for the storm to pass. Again, I'll quote my wife. She says, when tufan aa jaye, khare ho jao, shant ho jao. That's a fact. It means you have to be patient enough to wait for the storm to pass, and then you can take corrective measures to the extent that you can. But what happens from there? There's self-destructive reactions are there. No, we think, no, I can do something, I can change the world, I can control the storm. Probably you can't. As a result, we behave irritably, we feel victim, or we want to force certain outcome which may not come. So if we cannot change the destiny, we cannot change the direction of the activity, then what happens? We feel resignation, we resign, we say, okay, give it up, that's the end of it. Or we button ourselves to transform frustration and patience with patience. Patience does not mean passivity or resignation, but strength. It is a strength by itself. It is a method of releasing emotion by waiting, observing, and knowing when to act. Patience is a form of compassion, a return of intuition, a method of emotional redeeming oneself in an unpleasant environment. It entails waiting your turn, confident that it will come. Something will come. I always say life is made of sinusoidal waves. Sometimes zero, sometimes maximum, back to zero, then minimum, back to zero. No one has remained on the peak of performance, nor anyone has as a trough of the performance. So we'll keep fluctuating. So if we wait patiently, things may turn out better. This is what we must really understand. With patience, we can delay gratification, but it will be meaningful and correct. That is what is important. Okay. Intuition tells us to be patient. So we must listen to our intuition. Because intuition is is an energy, it is an intelligence. It will inform you when to act, when not to act. We accept it or do not accept it, is up to us to decide. Now imagine, in order to get graduation, you have to start studying from class, say probably now kindergarten, KG, upper KG, and all sorts of things, right up to graduation. How many years did you wait? Could you afford to achieve graduation just in one shot in 1 year? Probably no. So it requires patience to be educated, patience to build our career, patience to maintain and build up our relationship. And it all requires hard work. Without work, you cannot afford to achieve anything. So patience is just one way of doing things. It's one of the tools available to you. Your कर्म तो करना ही पड़ेगा. Okay. Now, before we go on to the system, there is one more phenomenon I just want to talk about, called goal gradient effect. This particular thing was coined by Clark Hull in 1932. It states that as people get closer to reward, they speed up their behavior to get their goal faster. In other words, people are motivated by how much is left to reach their target, but how far they have come. They don't talk about it, how far you have come. You always think, when would I reach home? When you're gone to office, you're waiting for the time to come. When we were in school, we always had days left to go home. That is what we talk about it. Hull has said, rats in a maze run faster as they near the food box than at the beginning of the path. हम लोग के इलाके में ये कहानी थी कि हाथी भी घर जाने समय तेजी से भागता है, because it thinks that he's going to reach home and he'll get some motivation, he'll feel happy. All of us are waiting to come back home so that we can relax. Now imagine Bolt running 100 meters near finish line. Does he speed up? Yes, because he is seeing the finish line and he has the competitors left, right, center along with him. And in the last moment, which is going to make the difference. The closer a customer cuts to, any customer gets to their goal, more encouraged they become to finish it off. But they can't get motivated if they don't know where the finish line is. Keep working, keep slogging. You do not know when end will come. It can be applied to anywhere, from big tasks to smaller objectives. You remember, you have seen, all of us have been using Uber and Ola no, app to get a taxi around there. Now imagine when you have called for Ola Uber and initially gives you 15 minutes, 20 minutes, or 10 minutes time. What you're looking at it? You are looking at the path which the taxi is taking to reach your place, reach your home, or the location that you are waiting for. Why? Because this is called gamification. This is called gamification. To make progress clear, to reduce the biggest pain point of waiting for the ride by using car animation on a map to indicate progress. So you feel you are always attached. Okay, it is coming, it is coming. So the pain which you had for waiting gets reduced. It can change customer perception of time by providing a transparent waiting process. The closer Uber gets to you, faster the time seems to pass. Same thing goes for when you are waiting for plane or train, everything. Exactly the same way. Now, so the what are the reasons for to be impatient? That is what again the first thing which comes in, desire for closure. As a human, basically the desire to get these things off your mind or cross it off your to-do list. Whenever something my wife tells me to purchase or do something online, I immediately take my mobile, I finish it because lest I forget. And once I forget, again after some time I'll get the same mood, you're forgotten back again. So it is our eagerness to complete and close the job that you have undertaken, and eagerness to get it done might spur up to pick up the pace. And that's the reason when you see the finish line, you try and speed up your work or the quantum of work or the speed of work. This is called goal gradient effect, so that people become much more motivated to achieve their goals as they go closer to them. This is what we already talked about it. Okay. Next is called the eagerness to act to get it over with. That is to get closer. Might translate to a negative feeling of frustration. If I don't close it, I will feel frustrated. Despair will come into play. So I want to reduce that negative emotion which is going to come to me for waiting. So while receiving a package in a certain number of days, when you ask for a courier, you always look at it, okay, it will come today, it will come tomorrow. Now, we become impatient as the closure time or arrival of the courier comes nearer. So rather than underestimating a completion of job, there is a tendency to overestimate. Once I overestimate, I'm quite cool because I have got time to finish stuff and I don't hurry it up. Okay, so we must also overestimate anything. If you commit someone, it will take 2 days, probably commit, okay, it will take minimum 3 days. So you've got 1 day of coming. This normally we do it. Cushion time, you always keep it. It will also be helpful for managing our waiting experience by engaging our mind over to a completely unrelated activities. My partner, whenever I go, when he is waiting for at the airport, he keeps playing chess because he has distracted his mind onto something else. We all read books waiting for it so that our mind gets diverted from waiting time for the plane, train, and everything around there, and I'm constructively engaged in some other work or activities. There are the 2 reasons. Third reason is we've got a culture of, today we are in a culture of impatience and instant gratification culture. Now, what is this? Now we've got everything available to us. Patience is a very short supply nowadays, because message all around us is of impatience culture, which is difficult to resist. With a click of button, you get all the information from the Google Guru. So why should I read the book? Why should I turn it? Why should I wait for tomorrow? Let me find out the answer right in now. So we are governed by the immediate access to whatever we want and instant gratification of our needs. This digital technology, internet, search engines, streaming, texting, and all of these has made us feel that life is at our fingertips and instantly things will get done. May not. Impatience is the most common reaction and the greatest obstacle to slow, unpredictable, and non-linear journey to positive life changes. As I have discussed, I have already said earlier, I can't change my habit in one day. I can't. I can think about it, but it can never happen in one day, 2 days. You have to be patient enough. If I want to reduce my weight, I have to wait for some time. Impatience begins with a set of perceptions and beliefs. This is taking forever. My goal is unachievable. And so also negative thoughts keeps coming to our mind. Okay, if that is the case now, these are negative emotional change. And negative thoughts, these perceptions and belief trigger the negative emotional chain like frustration, anger, and despair. They act as obstacles to a positive life change and make desired goal more difficult and aversive. The first thing the negative emotion comes into play is what you call frustration. Frustration is an infuriating feeling that arises when path towards a goal is blocked. It's like a river. When river is flowing, river finds a stone or in front of it. What does it do? It has only three options: circumvent it, roll it over, or get blocked. Only three options are available. Similarly, in our life also, only these three options are available when we find any impediments coming in our path of our goal that we have set for ourselves. Frustration though looks bad, but it is very complex. Frustration is hardwired into our evolutionary to help us survive. It starts as a good emotion because when you get frustrated, you are motivated to remove the obstacle and block your path, which was blocking your path towards the goal. So it gives you energy, it gives you time, it gives you a wake-up call. So what do? You are trying harder to clear the path. If the obstacle isn't too big, you can remove the obstacle. As I say, a river is there, it removes the big stone that are lying in its path. Okay, if the path is harder and you are unable to clear the path, then what happens? You try thinking harder. Somehow or the other, I will wear out this obstacle or barrier which is coming to my path. It may be sheer willpower, maybe persistence. Such well-intentioned efforts can often increase, but not decrease the frustration. So that we go to the next link in the negative part, that we got anger. First we got frustration, then we got anger. What does anger do? Anger, in spite of the best effort, you can't clear the path towards your goal and relieve frustration. It can morph into anger. That is what happens. So after frustration, it comes anger. Anger, like frustration, has both positive and negative sides. Anger starts out as potentially helpful because it is also a motivating factor. Aristotle says anger is an energy. You must harness it. You remember Chanakya? He got angered and he set up the Maurya dynasty himself. When you are angry, you want to go after that, what is causing your anger. And you want to remove that barrier. And you are directing all your energy towards clearing the barrier. If the barrier is too difficult to overcome, you require extra energy. And that extra energy, it creates that volume, the emotional volume. You just generate that extra energy. And with that extra energy, you can afford to break the barrier. Have you seen even a lean and thin person getting angry and fighting with a strong palban, like that. From where does he get energy? Temporarily, he's so angered that the adrenal, that chemical gets released into him, and he generates that extra energy at that instead of time. But can he sustain it? That is the main important point to be noted. Unfortunately, anger can turn into bad emotion that hurts our effort to change for better. So, feeling of anger are like frustration, but increase exponentially. It reduces our focus. Thinking is clouded because we are not thinking straight when we are angry. Decision making is impaired. That's the reason they say whenever you get anger, you must count 10. And if you look at our brain structure, the initial signal goes to amygdala. Small portion of signal which we receive from our senses goes to amygdala. And amygdala in turn goes to limbic brain, which is supposed to our primitive brain, and that primitive brain asks us to act in a fashion as per past performance that they have stored in the brain. But the main signal passes to neocortex, where it is a computer. It computes all the event and gets the feedback back again to amygdala. So that's how the anger is. So if you count delay the gratification, probably the result may be different. Result may be different. Third thing, next comes to despair. In spite of best effort, if you fail to remove the things, natural obstacles which are there in your path, then you come into despair. You feel out of control, hopeless, helpless. You can do little about it. You feel no point of continuing to try change your life. Doing nothing going to work. The unfortunate outcome or conclusion is immediate and irreversible failure to make progress towards. So once you have reconciled that it cannot happen, you can never succeed. So when you experience this unhelpful emotion, you lose your motivation, you lose your confidence and your focus. The result is that you lack what it takes mentally and emotionally to persevere in the face of challenges that prevent your continued headway towards your goal. Okay, now, so patience is the key. Patience begins with an emotion, and that emotion is hope. Something good will happen. With that emotion comes a belief that you stay committed to the change you want to make. Probably something good thing will happen in our life. Patience also encompasses several essential ways of looking at yourself and the challenges you face as you work becomes to the best version of yourself. Why? Change must come from within. Until you desire, we do not know our energy, level of energy we do not know. We got immense capability, immense energy. You have to realize that we have capability and energy and we can afford to undertake any job. Change takes time. Change has ups and downs. We have to accept it. Make a commitment to change, a moment to moment choice, because it will vary. It will keep, as I said, life is made of sinusoidal wave. It will have zero, it will have peak, it will have trough, but you have to remain within that fluctuation between maximum and minimum will be has to as minimum as possible. So we must try and have persistence, that you continue trying it. Perseverance, you must have the capability to overcome difficulties, and resilience, getting back up when you fall down. गिरना गुनाह नहीं है, लेकिन गिरने के बाद ना उठना गुनाह है. I hope I have tried to convey my idea that patience is important, and without patience we cannot afford to survive. And as I said, this particular topic was triggered by my good wife itself, because every day I have been hearing you are getting impatient. Well, I have also learned a lesson along with you. Thanks a lot. Hope it meets your aspiration. We'll come back again next time with next topic. Thank you.